553rd day I'm here to share lessons I learn, and I'm learning. I hope that has to support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today I want to share a lesson that I learned from the podcast, John C. Maxwell podcast, and I really love the guest that was speaking about 5 questions that resistant leaders ask themselves. Such a great topic. I don't remember when last time I was listening to a podcast that I liked so much. And I would like to share exactly the same lesson with you, and I recommend to watch the same podcast as well. So, 5 questions that resistant people ask themselves. This speaker was Valerie Burton, and I will share those 5 questions that you need to ask us as well. Because of course, when you think about leader, every single person is leader. It just depends on the level how strong the leader they are. So that means if you want to lead someone else, coach someone else, of course you need to learn how to coach yourself, how to lead yourself. And those 5 questions really allows you to be a better leader of yourself. So the first question is, how could I add more joy to what I'm doing? How could I add more joy to what I'm doing? That means that, of course, a lot of times when we do self discipline and we do some maintaining some work and we do exactly the same thing over and over and over again, even some things that we love. But if we do mundanely and we do not add joy into it, it starts to become stressful, or sometimes it starts to become boring, and of course you don't like to do it. But when you think about, okay, how I could add joy to everything what I do, every single piece, then you become start adding some kind of challenge, and you're excited to do the things that you need to do to get results. So that means, how could it joy to everything what they do? But that's a very essential question, because a lot of times people quit because they're not able to bring joy in whatever they do. Second question is, how do I want to show up? How do I want to show up? This is a very, very essential question, because people start acting in a not in a way that they want to show up. But when you're really asking, when you go to some kind of event, when you're going to meet someone, and you ask yourself, okay, how do I want to show up? What kind of person I want to be seen? And ask, how do I need to act that other people could see me the way how I want to be seen? So that means sometimes you adjust the way how you respond to situation when you know exactly how you would love to be seen. Because if you want to be consistent, of course, what you do consistent things. If you want to be seen as a calm, wise person, what do? You are calmly thinking ideas how you could share. So that means exactly when you think about ideas how do you want to be seen, of you're able to find a way how do you want to respond to every single station. Number 3 question is, how do I meant to serve today? How do I meant to serve today? Now, a lot of times when pursuing big things, it could be stressful. But when you think about how do I meant to serve today, that means it is about someone else, about third party, about people. So that means you put your eyes from yourself and put on someone else. And when you do that, you realize that you are not that important. You're not supposed to be stressful, because when people have eyes on themselves and people spend 24/7 with themselves, sometimes people become stressful. But when you put your eyes on someone else, you become excited. So do you want to be excited or do you want to be stressful? Of course, it's much better to be excited. So we need to learn how to put our eyes to someone else. And when you ask how I could serve better today, other people, it's much easier to move forward. Number 4 is, what do I want? What do I want? Now, leaders is able to see weaknesses, what's not working, what they do not want. But if you always speak about what you don't want, you'll not be able to get what you want. So we always need to start from things that's working and the things that you want to get. So that means, okay, so this is what I'm working, this is what I want, more of it. Because when you share what do you want and what you're willing to do about it, it's much easier to go towards something. Because when you say that I don't want that, that what it says that you need to go from something, but you still do not know where to go. Because there is a difference between going from somewhere to go somewhere. So when you share what do you want, it's easier to know where you want to go. Number 5 is it meaningful or urgent? Is it meaningful or urgent? Now, a lot of times people do not succeed in life because they always do urgent things. But urgent things is not a lot of, it's not urgent, not meaningful. So that means every single time when you think about every activity that is urgent on your list, you need to ask yourself, okay, is it meaningful? Because what meaningful is that when you will do that activity, it will last for 5, 10, 20 years. Because if you, for example, do some urgent things and that urgency disappears in a month, it never adds value to your future self. Because when you think about what kind of person you want to become in 20 years, and what kind of activities is meaningful to allow you to become the person you want to become in 20 years, then you start looking here, this activity will allow me to become the person I want to become or not. And if you say no, maybe you're able to delay, maybe you're able to find someone else who is able to take care of it. Maybe you find a way that you need to spend less time on urgent things, of course, and more time on meaningful things. Of course, there's no possible to allocate 100% of your time on meaningful things, but the more you reduce, and I made 90% time on meaningful things and 10% are urgent things, because I think that a lot of times people live differently. They spend 90% on urgent things and 10% on meaningful things. And then they asking question, why I feel stuck, why I'm not moving as fast as I would love to. And that's what it is. Like you just focusing 90% on urgent things, just covering up the urgent things that is not that important. But when you really learn how to manage your schedule based on your on meaning of those activities and what that allow you to achieve, everything could change. I know that I will need to review those 5 questions by myself because I think that is always battle to live a better life. I could say that I'm pretty good comparing in those questions, but there is a lot of place to improve. So I hope you choose to win and see you tomorrow.